We take up any challenge. We will honor our past achievements and we shall chart our course to a prosperous future together. In similar fashion to the recently returned Ashanti artifacts looted from the Great Kingdom during the 19th century and which are fully now on display in their rightful place at the Manhaya Palace Museum, the strength and spirit of the Ashanti people live in the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The exhibition of these artifacts is timely and is the name given to the exhibition, Homecoming, Adversity and Commemorations. It could not have been described better. These artifacts include the royal stool, which belonged to the Asantehene Kofi Kari, the 10th Asantehene, which was lost to the British in the same way that Asantehene Kofi Kari lost his son, Prince Kofi Enti, who was eventually taken by the British to Trinidad and Tobago and exiled in 1881. Prince Kofi Enti later went on to design and build a signal station at Fort George in Trinidad in 1883 to aid shipping navigation, which Your Royal Majesty, you have the opportunity to visit that structure, which is still there on the mountain top in Fort George. We in Trinidad and Tobago, we emit, like that signal, the spirit that brings us together and points the way to a shared and prosperous future. Asantehene, since your ascension to the Golden Stool in 1999, you have worked for peace and stability of the Asante people, and of Ghana, and of Africa, and of your diaspora. You have been an agent for the development of your people through your work to attract investment and resources for the provision of social services and infrastructure for education, healthcare, water and sanitation. You have provided counsel and support to the government and people of Ghana in times of crisis and urgent need. And you have refined the role and image of the modern African monarchy while emphasizing the great value of traditional norms. As we in Trinidad and Tobago celebrate with you today the silver jubilee of your accession to the Golden Stool and reign as Asantehene, monarch of the Ashanti Kingdom, I hold out to you the abiding admiration and best wishes of the government and people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago for your personal well-being, good health and that of your family, and the peace, progress, and prosperity of the chiefs and people of the Ashanti Kingdom and all the people of the Republic of Ghana from all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Former presidents of the Republic of Ghana, members of the Council of State, ministers of state and members of parliament, members of the diplomatic corps, specially invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Royal Majesty, it gives me great pleasure to be here with you today in Kumasi to celebrate the silver jubilee of your accession to the Golden Stool and commencement of your reign as Asantehene, monarch of the Ashanti Kingdom. I bring to you the chiefs and people of the Ashanti Kingdom and people of the Republic of Ghana the best wishes of the government and people of Trinidad and Tobago on this most auspicious occasion. I was truly honored to receive your invitation to be the guest of honor and to have the opportunity to address this distinguished gathering. On this, my third visit to Ghana as Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I am struck by the bonds of friendship, the bonds of brotherhood that bring me back to this beautiful country. This is a manifestation of the fraternity and friendship that exists between the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the people of Ghana. It is this sense of welcome and gratitude which inspired me to extend to you, Asantehene, an invitation to participate as chief guest at the Emancipation Day celebration in Trinidad and Tobago in August 2023. As you would have observed on your visit to Trinidad and Tobago, our Emancipation Day, which is observed annually, is a national holiday celebrated on the 1st of August every year. It is a major celebration of African heritage, and we are gratified and honored to have hosted you as a part of our celebration. Coming from a long line of Ashanti kings, your esteemed presence in Trinidad and Tobago was a reflection of the bridge that connects our land to our great ancestral kingdom and tradition, which reminds us of who we are and where we have come from. That bridge also connects us to the rich possibilities of a shared future full of promise and potential. Your Royal Majesty, you have consistently emphasized your commitment to the fraternal ties that link Trinidad and Tobago to Ghana. Your leadership has stimulated increased collaboration between our countries, which offer mutually beneficial trade and economic opportunities to aid in our mutual development. Your Emancipation Day in Cornerstone's message reminded us that, and I quote, "We have no choice but to join hands together, work together, think together, plan together, and pull our resources together to lift our countries out of the distress of the moment into the prosperity that is our destiny," unquote. And in your open lecture at the University of the West Indies, you emphasized that the biggest challenge is to create our own narrative. Notwithstanding the many challenges that are all around us, some imposed and some inevitable, we have every reason to be confident and proud, both of what we have built and of how we are designed. Today, I say without fear of contradiction that the African people have given much to mankind, as exemplified by the noble Ashanti, as embodied by the great Asantehene. My brothers and sisters gathered here and everywhere in Ghana and Africa, I also have had abundant opportunities to interact with His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, to explore functional cooperation in areas such as agriculture, energy, education, culture, tourism, trade, and transportation. We have exchanged delegations in both directions, exploring trade and investment opportunities for offerings in both markets, always remaining focused on the many commonalities and synergies that we share. As we move forward together, we will address additional areas of collaboration and strengthen our relationship one step at a time. To this end, the greatest, the quickest and most effective avenues, as we could probably explore, would be which enable us to have the smooth movement of people, goods and capital between our countries, which will improve the tourism and trade outlook between Ghana and Trinidad and Tobago, with all the attendant economic benefits to be had. With the opening of the brand new First International Airport in Kumasi, we see the first steps of international travel as possibilities between our people, Ghana and the Caribbean, Ghana to Trinidad and Tobago. We're working on it. I trust when the first flights are available to see many of you coming to do business, to vacation, or just to explore Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean. Support that trade route. Support that travel route. It takes 15 hours from London, from Trinidad to get here. It only takes 8 hours from Trinidad and Tobago direct. And we can do it. Because I traveled from Trinidad to Pretoria, the Nelson Mandela's funeral, non-stop in the Trinidad and Tobago plane. We can do it. Let not the Atlantic keep us apart. But you see, this will not only provide the bridge between Trinidad and Tobago and Ghana as we join hands. It will provide a bridge between the Caribbean, CARICOM, and the African continent to increase trade and investment between Africa and the Caribbean. The growing relationship between the Afro-Exim Bank, the Africa Business Council, and the CARICOM Private Sector Organization to establish an Africa-Caribbean Business Council demonstrates the mutual interest of African and Caribbean organizations to growing together. And we in the governments of both countries have a duty to this obligation and to facilitate it. Another area in which we could collaborate is to support the ongoing work of CARICOM Reparations Commission, which seeks to establish the moral, ethical, and legal case for the payment of reparations by the former colonial powers to the nations and people of the Caribbean community for the crimes against humanity of native genocide, the transatlantic slave trade, and the racialized system of chattel slavery. Among its objectives for the use of these reparations are the restoration of the historical memory and cultural heritage of the descendants of enslaved Africans, the enrichment of historical and cultural knowledge exchanges with the African homeland, and the rehabilitation of intergenerational psychological trauma which affected our populations. At the 46th meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the CARICOM in February this year, CARICOM heads proposed to place more emphasis on direct engagement, advocacy, and negotiations, including strengthening partnership with the African Union in treating with this matter of reparatory justice. I expect that in this matter, in which we have common cause, we will have the support of our friends and brothers on the continent in having it included in the agenda of the Commonwealth Heads of Government, the Chogam Conference in October 2024, and other international fora to build momentum behind this very deserving matter. I will share with you that shortly after my return to Trinidad and Tobago from Ghana in March 2020, we were struck by the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic that hurt us all. During that period, when there was much uncertainty on how we would cope and manage the devastation of the pandemic on our economies and societies in CARICOM, countries in the international community, many, including our traditional partners, spared no expense to hoard all of the very resources that we needed to help ourselves survive. They did not hoard it for us, but rather for themselves, for the benefit of their own populations at the expense of the people of the developing world. That pandemic showed us, if we didn't know before, who our real friends are and who our family is. And then at the height of the pandemic, Africa came to our aid with the support of His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, President of South Africa, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, President of Ghana, and His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, then President of Kenya. I, as the then Chairman of CARICOM, was able to broker an arrangement with the African Union to allow CARICOM member states so desiring to access the African Union's African Medical Supplies Platform, the AMSP, to secure vaccines, which allowed CARICOM countries a pathway to survival and life and livelihood at a time when it seemed like mission impossible to access those products even on commercial terms. So you have some insight into my resolute confidence that through our